everybody to our Sports Sunday video, and for this week we'll also be including a little bit of a Monday Masters mashup talk, the tournament that just ended yesterday. But first, we're just going to be just discussing what we're going to be talking about in this video. First, obviously, for the 2019 Masters and just our final thoughts on that. Also for the NBA playoff matchups that are going to be tonight, and also the playoffs that also started on Saturday. We have our thoughts on that so far. We're also going to be talking about international football leagues, such as the Premier League and Serie, which is the top-tier Italian football league. But first, let's just get to the 2019 Masters. For everybody who already knows, Tiger Woods ended up winning the 2019 Masters. It was his first Masters win since 2005, and I believe his first major win since 2008. He actually really impressed me overall, just not with his putting too, but just overall his endurance. Because I thought in many other tournaments, just at least the recent tournaments he's been in, I thought he would start to fall apart and start making more mental mistakes and just starting to miss his shots. But really, out of the entire field that made it through to the second day, he was the one who was the most consistent, and obviously it showed with him winning. Because heading towards the final round, the final few holes, there were several players that were tied with him, and then some were actually leading him for at 1.2. Some of them were Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, Molinari too, which ended up falling apart in the last day. Xander Schauffele as well, which he actually really impressed me too. I did not think he'd be in the running towards the end of the tournament to have a chance to win the green jacket. And then also, Tony Finau also had a chance to at least maybe be able to win, but he ended up falling apart too, to at least some extent. And then also just a few others as well too, Ricky Fowler and then Webb Simpson as well too, which really for Webb Simpson, I can't remember the last time he's actually won any sort of major or any tournament, but he was able to at least compete. But in the end, it ended up being Tiger, who professional golf too. He ended up winning and also ended up taking the green jacket. Now for this too, for the U.S. Open coming up and for future tournaments, maybe he has a chance to not just catch Arnold Palmer for the most Masters, most Masters wins, but also the most major wins as well too. I think now if his back holds up after surgery, he probably has a pretty good chance of breaking that record, because right now I think he's just only 43 as of right now too. So he's still got a few good years at least left. And assuming he stays healthy too, and there's no sudden either injuries or other surgeries that he may have to go through or any other physical therapy, we should probably expect to see him not just in the running for future Masters tournaments, but also in future majors as well. But again, pick two, he didn't end up actually winning, even though he was in the mix of it as well too. We picked Ricky Fowler. I thought he was going to be actually a little more aggressive too. He had some decent shots too. He had actually a good chip for eagle. I think it was on the third day or maybe the final day he had that as well too. I figured his putting should have been a little better too. If it was, he probably been more of a challenge to Tiger. But overall too, the only surprise I had too was Zach Johnson. And I guess for those who probably didn't miss it, Zach Johnson on his practice swing actually hit the ball too. And I think it was because of that too that he actually ended up making the cut too, as a result of not having to take a penalty stroke on that as well. I thought he would play a little better than that, so I thought he'd be more competitive. But he ended up just not really doing much in the tournament. But all the other picks too, besides Louis Oosthuizen as well, a lot of them actually ended up competing and were actually gave Tiger a run for his money. But overall, it ended up Tiger winning, and then Dustin Johnson too. Even though he's I thought he maybe would be a little more of a challenge, but I guess not. And then Bubba Watson too. I figured I really hope he starts getting a lot better in tournaments too, because I remember not too long ago too, one of the people to beat in any field for the tournament. But right now too, he hasn't done much lately. But either way, too, I'm glad to see that, just from my childhood, too, the way Tiger's been playing, hopefully continues this into his 40s, too. I really hope he continues to play at the level that he is at now in the Masters. But, again, we'll see going forward. And so, again, congratulations to Tiger Woods for winning the 2019 Masters Tournament. That being said, too, we're going to move on to the NBA playoffs. It's been just a couple days into the playoffs right now. We're still in round one. And for tonight, we'll have the Nets taking on the Sixers, who's actually going to under half an hour, actually. Going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll also have the Clippers. We'll be visiting Golden State. Both of those are going to be games 2 right there. Both matchups are for game 2 of each of their series. That's going to start at 10:30 p.m. The Nets currently lead the Sixers 1-0. And also the Warriors lead the Clippers 1-0. So as of right now, too, there's a few surprises so far. Especially the Magic being the Raptors, too, with the nearly last-second 3 by DJ Augustine Saturday night for the game. It was actually a big surprise to how competitive the Magic were. And overall, too, they just kept up with the Raptors for nearly the entire game, too. So it wasn't like the Raptors really had a big lead throughout the entire game. They actually kept with them the whole game. Actually, this should be a fun series to watch. Also, what really surprised to me, too, is the Nets actually being the Sixers. So that was a big shock to me as well, because the Nets really weren't really that consistent all year, too. And they had to struggle really to get around 500. They actually ended up, I think, being the 6th seed. And then also, I think Boston was 4th, and then the Pacers were 5th, and then the Celtics ended up beating the Pacers. And as of right now, too, I think it was like the Bucks and then the Pistons as well. So I think the Bucks ended up winning against the Pistons. They won by a decent margin. And then also, like I said, too, Raptors were the 2nd seed. They beat or I should say they didn't beat them. They actually lost to the 7th seed Magic. So, and if you're the East, too, it should be more interesting. I figured like the top 5 teams in the Eastern Conference would probably have an easier time overall. But again, maybe the other lower seeds, too, will make it interesting. But then for the West as well, too, the Rockets easily won, and then the Warriors won, and then I think the Spurs ended up beating the Nuggets, I believe. And the Nuggets were like pretty good all year, too. So, I don't know, this should be like pretty interesting matchups so far. And then I guess another I forgot, too, is also the Portland beat Oklahoma City as well. So, again, these should be pretty fun matchups. But, again, for those who didn't know about our NBA playoff predictions as well, too, I will put that, it was in a live stream, too, that we did on this channel, too. I'll put it up here, somewhere in the top right corner over here, too, so you guys can check those out to see who we thought was going to make the playoffs and who we thought was going to ultimately win the NBA championship. So if you haven't watched that, you can head over to the link up here, top right corner, and go check that out, too, to see who we picked for our 2019 NBA champion. So, again, 2 games coming up tonight. They should also be fun, just like the previous games as well. So with that being said, too, also we had Premier League action as well. Also right now, too, Liverpool is still at the top of the table. Man City is still not too far behind. Probably, I didn't see like too many surprises overall, too. Manchester United also survived a scare from West Ham from 2-1, too. And then really Liverpool defeated Chelsea 2-0. And really there weren't too many surprises overall, too. And obviously Huddersfield being at the bottom of the table, they're already guaranteed to be relegated to the tier down to, or the league that's below Premier. They lost to Tottenham, or to the Spurs, 4-0. But really, overall, there just weren't too many surprises in the Premier League for this week. And I know the regular season for the Premier League is winding down. Also, there's not too many few games left, too, in Serie A. In Serie A, too, probably the biggest is actually losing 2-1 to Spal, which was just a mediocre team in Serie A. And it's just a big surprise, too, they were able to lose. It was only their 2nd loss of the season, even though they're still leading by around 20 points against Napoli, which is the 2nd in the table. Then it's Inter is in 3rd. I don't really like saying that Inter. That's like above my team AC now in 4th. They just got past AS Roma again for the last Champions League position. The top 4 in Serie A get into the Champions League. And then AC was able to beat Lazio 1-0. And then overall, too, just the rest of the games in the Serie A for this past week. Not too many surprises, again, besides Juventus. Sassuolo and Parma, they tied at 0-0. And then really, not too many big surprises. And then today, there was just Empoli and Atalanta, which drew at 0-0. So not too many surprises there, too. And then, like we said, too, for the NBA playoffs, we'll probably, as they're going on, too, as we make progress in the NBA playoffs, and we get to the conference finals, and then ultimately your Sports Sunday, in this case also a Monday edition as well too. We'll be giving more of our thoughts as well too, and just see probably any changes that we could see coming, whether it's injuries or updates or what's going on too. We'll be sure to include it in future editions of Sports Sunday as we are making more progress towards the NBA playoffs. And again, of course, we have the MLB season in the first month of it right now. Still too early to tell too. Besides last week, we had our predictions as well too. We'll also put that up in the top right corner of our screen so you guys can check that out, who we predicted, who was going to win the World Series, who's going to make the playoffs. And then obviously, if you watch the video too, we'll give you a clue as to what I was wearing too, so to give you a clue as to who I think is going to do fairly well in this season. But as of right now too, it's still a little too early to tell too, that based upon our predictions too, if we're going to just, if it's going to be able to be somewhat accurate, or it's going to be, that's going to end up, it's going to be in the Fall Classic towards late October. So we'll find out who's going to win the World Series. So that being said too, we'll keep you guys up to date in Premier League, Serie A, and MLB, but also for the NBA playoffs as well too. And also, that being said too, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this edition of Sports Sunday. And in this case, we have Sports Sunday and our Masters Monday mashup, or Masters Monday. Just again, thank you guys for watching. We'll be 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We play some more GTA 5 online over on our Twitch channel, so if you guys can join us for that too. We'll send the link over to our Twitter at VerdictSquadNow when we go live. So hope you guys can see you guys there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys live in just a little while.